See the way you love me, see the way you care for me. You carry my matter for your head. Oh.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're interested to know how to achieve this beautiful silver colored purse, then relax, let's get into the video. But before then, please subscribe. Yes, I mean you that is looking at this video right now. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Please share, like, comment. If you have any question, feel free to drop it down in the comment section. I'll be glad to be of help. Thank you. So we're using a taffeta as the lining. We are using a sequence net, the sequence that is in a net form. So we are also using a zipper, silver color zipper. We are using a 1-inch foam. We are using a B6000 glue. We are using a brush, toothbrush. We are using a shoemaker gum. We are using a thread and needle, matching thread. So before I forget, I'm also going to use a hot glue gun. This picture you see right here in the video. I'm also using a plastic ball for this tutorial. So we have to divide this very ball into two. There's a line at the center of this ball. So we are going to divide it using a knife. So I'll divide it off camera. So I've divided the ball. Here are the ball. I divided it into two. So as you can see, once you follow that line, it will be very easier for you to divide. So now let's work on the ball. So here is our shoemaker gum with our toothbrush. So first of all, we are going to apply the shoemaker gum on the ball, that is on the outside of the ball. I dip the brush into the shoemaker gum and I apply it on the ball. We apply it round. After applying it, we do same with the second one. I'm through the first part of the ball, so I'm going to apply it on the second one. After applying it on the second one, the same way you did on the first one. So what you're going to do, you will drop it to dry for some time, not totally dry, but at least a bit dry, so that whatever you're going to stick on it, it will stick very well. So here is my 1-inch foam. I'm going to divide it. So I have already divided it. Here it is. So here is my half ball. They have already dried to my desired taste. So watch how I'm gumming the foam on the ball. As I'm gumming it, I'm like pressing the edges in order for it to stick very well there. That's how you continue doing. Just be watching what I'm doing. You understand better. So look at it, it has gum. So now I'm going to cut off the excess foam that is at the edge, and I'll still massage it for the ones that didn't lie very well. So here it is. So I'm going to also cover the other part that is open. I'm just taking my time to make sure it sleeps very well. So now down back to the other part. As I'm doing, you cover the foam. You press it very well, make sure it sticks very well, and be careful in order for your work to be neat. So it has stick. Going to cut off the excess. So after cutting off the excess, I'm going to trim this part. As you can see, the foam is, this very part is higher than the other, so I'm going to trim it for in order for it to be smooth, in order for it to be equal on each side. So one side will not rise than the other. So that's why I'm using my scissors to trim it. So after trimming this part, I'm also going to trim the inside in order to make my work very neat. So I'm going to also do the half part of the bow off camera. So what you're going to do is just to exactly the same way you did this one, that's the same way you do that one. You do the other part. So here is it. As you can see, very neat. Very neat. So here is the other part of the bow, which I did off camera. So my bows are ready. Let's move on to the next stage. So in this stage, we are going to apply our shoemaker gum inside the bow, on each bow, inside and also outside. Because on the inside, that is where we're also going to put our lining. So I'm through applying gum on the inside. So now we are going to apply gum on the outside, that is on top of the foam. And while you're applying it, make sure you also apply it at the edge, because that's where we really want our this thing to stick more. So I'm through applying on both bow. I apply the shoemaker gum, as you can see, outside and inside the bow. So I'm going to let it dry for some time. So while it is drying, let's cut our taffeta, which is the lining. I just finished cutting. So here is the inches I cut, 7 inches and 8 inches. So after cutting, I'm going to curve the edges. As you can see the way I'm doing this video, you see that I curve the edges or you cut it in a circle form. Your choice though. But I just curve the edges in this video. I'm through carving it. So I cut these pieces into two because I'm using it for the outside of the bow. So each part of the bow will take each pieces of the taffeta. So now I'm going to take one part of the bow. Here is my taffeta. So I'll use it to cover the bow. Just watch the way I'm doing it. As I'm doing it, I'm folding it inside, pressing it so it will stick to the gum which I applied on the foam. And while I am pushing it inside, I'm also smoothing the edge so that the lining, which is the taffeta, will not be rough at the edges, which is outside. The edge is outside. So now, after doing that, I'm going to cut off the excess that is inside. So while I'm cutting the excess, I'll also be smoothing the edges of the bow in order for the lining not to be rough at the edges. So while I'm cutting the excess inside, I'll also be doing the same thing. Just watch the way I'm doing it. So I'm through with cutting the excess. So look at the inside now. Also look at the outside and the edges, how smooth it is. It is not rough. Just watch and see. Look at the inside. So here is the other part of the bow. So I'm going to do the other part of camera. So I'm through with both of the bows. So here now is the lining for inside. So now I'm going to trim off the edges. So it's into two. Trim it off, curve it in form of a circle. I'm through with curving it Here it is into two. I'm using this as the lining for inside. That is inside the ball, to cover the ball inside. So back to my shoemaker gum. I'm going to apply the shoemaker gum inside. While I'm applying it at the edge so that it will easily stick down there. And I will not just apply the shoemaker gum on the edge and also inside and outside the ball. While I'm applying it at the edge of the ball outside is because the line will come all the way inside to come and stick outside the ball. Just watch how I'm doing. I'm going to apply it all the way by the side. That is the most important part. You can see I'm true. So now let's go into the main thing. So here now, putting the line inside all the way from the center. I place it inside. So now, while I am trying to stick the line into the gum I rubbed at the edge of the ball outside, I'm also arranging it inside in order for it to be smooth inside. Because if you don't do like that, it will be rough inside and it will not like balance well inside. So while I'm also doing smoothing the inside in order to avoid rough, I'm also doing that at the edge of the ball outside. So I'm through. So now I'm going to trim off the excess. I'm done with the trimming, as you can see. So now I'm through with the other part of the ball. So the both balls are ready. So now I'm going to fix the zip on the ball using hot glue gun. So now I'm going to apply this hot glue gun. It's already on. Going to apply it at the edge all around. So I'm done applying it. So the next thing now is to place the zip on the hot glue. So you just watch the one placing the zip. You get. I'll note once you are placing the zip, make sure that the hot glue don't touch the zip teeth. Let it just be at the side of the zip. It should not touch the zip teeth, because once it touches the zip teeth, it will like gum it. It will be hard for the zip to open and close. So now I'm going to trim off this excess. So I've trimmed off that excess. So I'm going to now put extra glue, because that one is already dry, to stick this part and cut it. So it has stick very well now. So now I'm going to apply the hot glue on the other part of the ball at the edge all around, the same way I did the other part. So after applying it all around, so I'm through applying it. So now I'm going to pick the other side of the zip. Make sure while you are placing the zip on the glue, make sure that is the teeth that is up. You understand? The teeth is not facing downward, facing upward. So here it is. So now I'm going to apply gum here to join both ending together. Just watch what I'm doing. Maybe you understand better. to now. So here is the inside. So now I'll close the zip so it will enable me to cut off the excess easily. So now I have to cut off this excess. You can see I've cut off the excess. So now it's either you use a hot glue gun or you use a matching thread and needle to tack that area. So I'll use this hot glue gun and apply it inside and also apply it outside. Now this hot glue gun now will hold the teeth of that zip, that even when I open it and it gets to this extent, it will not pull off. So I'm not through with the zip part. So let me show you the inside. So where I unzipped it and reached, that's where I applied my hot glue gum and stop. So that's the ending part of my zip. So this is my sequence net. The main reason why I'm using lining in this tutorial is because this is a transparent sequence. This is a transparent material. That's why I'm using taffeta as my lining. But in the case where we are using Accra or any thick material, that is any material that is not transparent, the line is not needed. But in the case where we're using lace or any transparent material, then lining is needed. So I have already cut this piece off camera. I cut 5 inches each. I'm making this 5 inches each side because it's a stretchy material. So I'm going to pick these 6 pieces of sequence which I cut off and cover the ball. So while covering it, I'll be drawing it, but before then I'm going to apply this hot glue gun by the side. I'm going to apply it all around, and please, while applying it, apply it just by the side, don't apply it close to the teeth, because once the gum touch the teeth, it will affect the teeth from zipping easily. So after that, so I'm going to be placing these pieces of sequence which I cut off on top of the glue which I applied round. So while placing it, I'll be drawing it in order for the surface to be smooth and neat. So I'm not just drawing because it's a stretchy material. Even if you are using a material that is not stretchy, at least try to draw it in order for the surface to be smooth and neat. So as you can see in this video, the way I'm drawing the edges in order for it to be smooth. So that's how I'll be doing. So while you are drawing it, you also be arranging it.
Like a little baby, you watch over me, oh. You know they carry me, they play, oh.
So I'm through now. So now I have to trim off the excess parts. So I will do the same thing on the other part of the board. So I'm going to do that part off camera. So we have done the other part off camera. We are not yet through. Our pot is already looking beautiful. So we are going to cover these rough edges. So this is what we'll use to cover it. I cut this off from the material. So we'll use it to cover the rough edges on both sides. So we'll be using B6000 glue. If you want, you can use B6000 glue or the hot gum glue. So I'll be using B6000 glue. I'll apply it all around or while you are applying, you will be placing the trim. So I've done both sides. So look how neat it is now. It's more neater than then. That's why I decided to cover it. So I'm going to cover this part. If you want, you can leave it like this, it's still beautiful, but I want to cover mine. I want mine to be hidden inside. So I'll apply hot glue gun. And cover it with this. So I cut it off. Here is the inside. So I'm also going to do the same with the back. Here is the back. I'm going to cover the back. So I'll apply hot glue gun and cover it. So I've covered the back part. Here it is. Let's move to the next stage. The next stage is the handle. So I'm making the handle. So you can cut according to your desired length. I cut the line in the, which is the taffeta and the sequence net. So I'm going to sew them together each side. After sewing them together, I'm going to fold them this way. Watch. Because I want the rope to be very tiny. So after sewing it, this is what I got. So I reduced the length because after sewing it, I found out that it was too long for me. So you can just cut according to your desired length. So this is the hook which I'll use to connect the handle to the zip. So you can get this in a shoemaker shop, those that sell shoemakers material. So there is a opening at the center, so I'm going to bend it in order for it to pass through the zip hook. So I'm going to pass it through the zip hook, as you can see. And also pass the handle through the hole. Then I'll sew it here. So after sewing it there, I use this needle and thread, a matching thread, to sew it. So now I'm going to trim off the excess. So after trimming it off, I'll use this to cover the side which I trim off. Before then I apply my hot glue gun. Then I cover it in order for it to be neat. So I'm through covering it that you will not even know there was a joining there. So our purse is ready. Ready to take to anywhere, any occasion. And nobody even believe that it's a plastic ball that is inside. So here is the inside of our purse. Can you see how very neat it is? So here is the outside of our purse. So our purse is ready. Just see how neat it is, how beautiful it is, how breathtaking it is. So what are you waiting for? Press the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. So here is our purse being rocked by our Printy Dancer. So if you're interested, you know how we made this beautiful gown. This is the front view. Here is the side view. Here is the back view. So if you're interested on how we made this beautiful gown, I'm going to drop a link in my description box that will take you straight to the video. So here is our beautiful purse being rocked with our beautiful gown. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Like, share, comment. If you have a question, feel free to ask down in the comment section. I'll be glad to be of help. Thank you. See you guys in my next video.